Alright, so let's talk about the big news that came out yesterday, and that is two big things. First, the official announcement of Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan 2 for the main event of UFC 311 in Los Angeles, but that was expected. And then the other very big announcement, Merab versus Umar Nurmagomedov, also made as the co-main event for that UFC 311 card. And this is great news. So like I said, the Makhachev versus Tsarukyan was expected, but the Umar versus Merab came as a bit of a surprise because everything leading up to the fight, or everything leading up to this announcement, kind of indicated that this fight wasn't going to happen, at least not immediately, right? Merab never publicly called out Umar. He said, "I'll take Petr Yan, I'll take Tsarukyan." He didn't say Umar. But I'm glad that this happened. Now, a lot of people were really pushing for the Umar title shot. I personally don't think he's really earned it yet. But out of all of the other contenders, who else are you going to give it to? You can't give it to Yan. He just got dominated by Merab, and he's coming off a 3-fight skid. Now he has 1-2. I think win 1 or 2 more, and he's right back in the talks. But he doesn't deserve it right now. Corey Sandhagen coming off a loss. Who else is there? Tsarukyan just lost. He doesn't deserve it. So, let's keep Merab active. Give him Umar. Umar's definitely the most deserving contender, although he probably hasn't done that much to deserve it. But if there's no one else, let's just keep the champ active. Give him a good fight in Umar. Now, as far as who's going to win this fight, I've seen a lot of people leaning towards Umar, but I don't see what's going to make this fight so much different than, say, the Petr Yan versus Merab fight, right? Because when people talk about Umar, they say his striking is too good for Merab. His wrestling is too good. Merab's not going to be able to work his tactics against him. But Petr Yan is, most people agree, a much better striker than Umar, at least technically. Most people call Petr Yan like a top 3 striker in MMA. Umar's a good striker too, obviously, and his wrestling's probably better than Petr Yan. But Petr Yan also has elite level wrestling, right? At least elite level takedown defense and scrambles. But when you actually think about the Yan versus Merab fight, it's not the level of wrestling that was a problem, because Merab failed almost all of his takedowns, and I believe he will fail those takedowns against Umar. But that didn't matter. All that mattered that he was shooting those takedowns. He was winning by pressure. And I don't see what Umar is going to do that Petr Yan couldn't do, that Henry Cejudo couldn't do, that Sean O'Malley couldn't do to stop that pressure from Merab. I think if Merab comes out as the Merab that we've seen lately, all pressure for 25 minutes, no breaks, constant takedowns, ridiculous cardio, I think it'll be more of the same. I think it'll be Merab dominating with pace rather than skill. And I just see it going the same way as Merab's last few fights. I see Merab winning a pretty dominant, cardio-heavy decision, even though Umar may look more skilled in moments, and I think he probably is more skilled. I just don't think that's what you need to beat Merab. I think you either need to catch him with something, which if Sean O'Malley couldn't do it, Umar could, maybe, but I don't think he has a better shot than Sean did, right? I just don't see Umar having enough cardio, even if it's good, just having enough to keep Merab at bay, when that's the opposite of what Merab wants to do. He wants to just come at you, shoot a takedown, shoot a takedown, shoot a takedown, shoot a takedown. So yeah. And then for this one, I think this one's really hard to call because these guys are very similarly skilled. But at the same time, it's hard for me to say where Arman has any real advantage over Islam, whereas Islam would seem to have slight advantages in some area. But the thing is, both of these guys are so well-rounded, so it's going to be a close fight either way. But I think I'm going to have to go with Islam just because he's just a slight bit more elite, it would seem, in pretty much every area. I think the main difference is probably the technical ability in the striking, right? Because if Arman does have an advantage in this fight, it's probably power. But I believe Islam probably is more technical with the kickboxing, maybe a little bit faster as well. And I just can't see Arman being better in the wrestling, better in the grappling. So I'm going to go with Islam on this one. And then let's just run through what else fight announcements we have. Johnny Walker versus Bogdan Guskov. This got announced a while ago, but this is also on the main card. Great fight. Honestly, I don't think this is going to be a great matchup for Johnny Walker. It could be one of those guys that Johnny Walker ends up knocking out pretty easily, but Bogdan Guskov is pretty good. He's on a pretty good run in the light heavyweight division, and Johnny Walker, he's so far away from a title now. I don't know what he's still doing at the light heavyweight division. I think maybe if he sees how Kennedy Nzechukwu does this weekend, he might want to follow him up to the heavyweight. I think that would be a good move for him. Maybe rejuvenate his chin a little bit, because he's already getting knocked out by these light heavyweights. Why not go up, get knocked by heavyweights if that's what you want to do? I think he'd be way more technical, just as powerful up there. So I think I'm going to go with Bogdan Guskov in this one. I think Johnny Walker's finished at light heavyweight, especially against these kind of up-and-coming guys like Bogdan. Yeah, I think he's going to get chinned. All right, and then finally we're seeing Peyton Talbot again. Kind of annoys me when some of these guys, especially young guys, they'll win a fight in 10 seconds and then take almost a year off. It just, I don't know. He could have had 2 fights by now, right? But it's good that he's coming back. He's a really big prospect to a lot of people. I'm not as impressed with him, but maybe it's just because I haven't seen enough of him. If he really puts on a great performance, and a great performance in this case would be finishing Raoni Barcelos, right? We saw Umar do it pretty easily. If he's what everyone says he is, he's probably going to finish Raoni Barcelos. But I think this will be a good one. We'll get to see Peyton Talbot tested a little more. Raoni Barcelos is a little better than the guys he's fought. Still nothing crazy. Should be one to win for Peyton Talbot. But, yep, that's what we have so far. UFC 311 looks amazing so far. Hopefully add just a little bit more. A few good fights on the prelims, and we're set with another stacked card. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day.